guys don't understand you can get a whole different ideology into your children if you put the wrong adult by your kids. See, it's interesting. Men, again, they want to raise the kid. They find it fun. They like it. Women, on the other hand, they like the clout of the kid. So they like to post the kid on Instagram, but not spend too much time with it. Modern women think that they can have it all. It's an illusion and delusion that has been pushed for the last 50 years. Women that were wives and mothers in the 50s and 60s and 70s taught their young daughters to go get some degree that is too expensive in a world of men to try to carve out a life for themselves. Even TV shows like Sex and the City showed all of the women with these fly-high careers pushed off getting married and having a family until later on in life. A small percentage of these women attain the financial success that they work for, be it on their own or with a successful husband. Most of these women are so ingrained in the identity of their careers that they cannot give it up when they become mothers. This usually means that when they have kids, they end up hiring nannies to take care of them. 12% of parents with children under the age of 3 hire nannies for full or part-time services in the United States. 9% of parents with children ages 3 to 5 hire nannies, and only 3.3% of high-earning Americans employ a nanny. So what are the risks of letting a nanny raise your children? For the mother, many problems may arise. The child grows more connected to another woman than the mother. Feelings of anxiety and guilt for not being with the child enough. The child grows accustomed to the company of the nanny over the mother. Jealousy and resentment from the mother to the nanny, especially first-time mothers. And children are normally better behaved in the day, and they get tired and cranky at night, leaving the mother with nothing but the difficult time with the child. What are the risks for the children? Resentment towards the mother and then the family for not being there in their formative years. Having to disconnect from multiple nannies, creating abandonment issues. A non-traditional family dynamic compared to peers in a friend group or at school. Now, I'm not saying that nannies are a bad thing. If a family has the resources to hire a nanny, they should consider it as an option. But the show is purely about awareness. Everything has its pros and cons, positives and negatives, ups and downs. There is a downside to having nannies raise your kids, and it is not talked about enough in modern society. Nannies are okay as long as they aren't the primary caretaker. The problem is if you rotate nannies in and out of a child's life, if the problem is if you rotate strangers in and out of a child's life that are the primary caretaker. So all of these boss women that are denying their natural urge to go care for children and focus on their career are risking harming their children by leaving them alone to be raised by a nanny that can come and go at will and essentially is a stranger. The harm will not be seen or felt until the child gets older. So there is a post that talks about, does having a nanny hurt the child-parent bond? Blog post. Okay. Does having a nanny hurt the child-parent bond? How do I hold on, let me X this. Okay. Will having a nanny hurt my flowering bond with my 7-month-old? How do one-on-one caregivers impact parent attachment with babies? Please ease my mind and broken heart. First, so this is the Ask Advice column, and it says, sad new mom back at work. First, I am sorry you are sad. It's an easy situation for people to say. Oh, don't feel sad. Your baby is doing great. Or, oh, you're so lucky. You can afford a nanny. You might be lucky, but your baby is probably doing great. But it's completely normal and appropriate to be sad. It's also normal and appropriate not to be sad. All the feelings are normal here. We are all muddling through, so take a moment to acknowledge those feelings for what they are. You're sad, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you've made the wrong choice. Second to your question, infant maternal attachment is commonly tested with something called the strange situation test. You can read more about it here, but basically it involves bringing mothers and infants into a lab setting and seeing how the infants react to separation, stranger exposure, and reuniting with mom. Through this test, researchers aim to measure secure attachment. There are, of course, variations across infants in their attachment, but data doesn't suggest this is associated with the care environment. One study from Australia actually finds more secure attachment in infants whose mothers showed more commitment to an early workforce return. There isn't strong evidence that the attachment your child has to you will be influenced by the presence of a nanny. Third, I want to give you a heads up about a few things that'll happen so you are ready. One is that your kid will cry when you leave them. They're like, no, it's totally fine, but your kid is gonna cry when you leave them with the nanny. And sometimes they will cry when you come home and the nanny leaves. That's okay, it's normal. It doesn't necessarily mean they hate you or they hate the nanny. They hate transitions or their foot hurts or they were hungry. Don't read too much into this. Once they start talking, they will sometimes call you by the nanny's name. This doesn't mean they don't know that you are the mom. They are just talking fast. The same way my mom called me my brother the wrong name a lot, it doesn't mean anything. So that right there is cope, right? So again, this is women trying to rationalize being bad mothers, right? So what they do is they outsource the motherhood so they don't have to do it. And again, I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but yeah, it's really not good when the nanny is spending more time with the kids than the mother. So, okay, I work as a full-time nanny for an infant, currently 5 months old. This is one of the comments. I am also the child's grandmother, which does alter the dynamic of the work relationship. First, I will say parents still have opportunities to form a strong bond with their infant if there is a full-time nanny. There's morning, evenings, and weekend hours to spend with their little ones. The quality of the time is very important. If the parents are under stress from their career obligations or other situations, the parents can turn the bonding with their little one so that the one parent can handle bills or chores and the other parent is completely relaxed while playing with and caring for the infant. The parent can switch those roles so that each has a high quality time with their baby. The baby should not be left alone for long periods when the parents are caretakers. Some parents do this thinking the child had enough bond time with the nanny and the child is hungry for time with the parents. An infant recognizes the difference between a nanny and a parent, and the natural instinct is to want to be with the parent. So that said, it is inevitable that the infant will form a strong attachment with the nanny. The nanny may spend more hours per week with the infant than the parents. A non-competent nanny will look out for the child's well-being and may recommend approaches to health and development. The parents can follow up on these suggestions with research and decision-making that supports the needs of the child. However, the nanny may have good suggestions and it may go smoother. The ideas should not be dismissed out of hand by the parents. Here we have a YouTube video talking about if kids raised by nannies will resent their parents. And remember, most of your TradCon influencers have nannies raising their kids. I'm just saying. When you see them traveling all over the country right after they had a child, someone else is raising that kid. Many single moms will dump the child on the grandma to raise so she can live her best life. Yeah, I mean, why raise your kid if someone else can do it for you? See, it's interesting. Men, again, they want to raise the kid. They find it fun. They like it. Women, on the other hand, they like the clout of the kid. So they like to post the kid on Instagram, but not spend too much time with it. Where the guy is more private about the kid, but he loves spending time with the kid, right? It's like,